Here we have two identical glosses. They look exactly the same, so they should have the same eigenfrequency too, right? Well, listen. It's clearly a different pitch between them. And it's just ever so small little difference between these two glosses can have an effect on the eigenfrequency. And I think this is something that we see in building acoustics as well. If you have a floor structure and there is some little difference, that can produce a similar change here. And in one case, this eigenfrequency might coincide with the eigenfrequency of the length or the width of the room, so you get an amplification, whereas you won't see that effect with the other floor structure, even though everything is the same. So that's one of the reasons I believe that we can sometimes measure quite different results, even though we enter the same, that's nominally identical room pair that we measure. And sometimes we get good results and sometimes we get worse results. And what's that? Well, this could be one of the reasons that you have small differences, and sometimes they really coincide. Because, you know, if these two glosses would have the exact same eigenfrequency, we could excite both of them just by just hitting one of them. Because it's the same thing if you have like two guitars and they're pretty close to each other and you just strike the strings on one of them, the other one will start to vibrate even though you don't even touch it. And this goes on all the time, all around us in everything, especially within buildings. So if you have like length, width, height ratio of a room, you will have eigenfrequencies in all these XYZ directions, and they sometimes coincide with other components in your structure. You will have resonance frequencies in your walls, in your floor structures, sometimes in the ceiling if it's the resilient ceiling, and sometimes you're lucky and sometimes you're not. I think this is, for me, this is quite similar to when a luthier is building a musical instrument. They know exactly how they should voice. So they just grab a little piece of sandpaper and remove a tenth of a millimeter on the top of the violin, and then it'll boom, you sound perfect. And what they're doing actually is that they're tuning the eigenfrequencies of each little part of the instrument so that they work together to produce a lot of sound. And when we're working with building acoustics, probably a better idea to do it the other way around. We could tune the eigenfrequencies so they don't coincide and produce this huge amplification. And one very easy way to do that, to avoid just that, is like, let's say you have the worst case scenario. Room height 2.5 meters, and then there are 5 and 5 meters. It's a common multiple in all directions. And then if you have two rooms like that next to each other, you will get a significant decrease in sound insulation. So by choosing optimal length, width, and height ratios of the rooms, you can avoid at least the worst of these effects. But then you always also have these small little changes here and there with an infinite number of parameters. And sometimes all the planets align and you will get perfect results or really bad results. But mostly of the time, I guess you'll end up somewhere in between. So that's pretty fun thing with acoustics. You never know what you're gonna get. And in today's video, I'm wearing my favorite little orange knit tie with a V-neck pullover. Really good travel kit in this hotel room. See you later.